have a task here to introduce few personality in our midst. I start with Detective Superintendent of Police, who also double as a head of operations from CID headquarters, Mr. Francis Ben Levy. He's here to talk about strategic issues from CID or issues under investigation. And we have DSP Edward Senesi. He is also the regional media from Freetown East, and also here to represent the regional commander. We have Edward Tambahka. Is also here to represent the head of new traffic management. There are issues also require public attention, for which he's here to also help us understand those issues. Of course, we have the media operations. This is also a new office for which the last press conference we were also introduced to you, and for which Media One explained a summary of the mandates of this new office established here. And of course, we have the Media One, who is also here to help us understand certain issues that are of public interest. Thank you, Director.
Thank you very much, Media 2. And today I would want the Fourth Estate to introduce themselves. We have been looking at them once, except when they want to talk, and not everybody will talk here. So it doesn't mean if you don't talk, looking up each and every one of you by name. Instead of saying, get up, just call them. I think Media One knows almost everybody here, by name and by face. And this is exactly what we also want to do. On this note, I will begin by informing us that, for the week, we had several events, a lot of fine events. Some are captivating, some are disturbing slightly, and others cannot be very well. I think we'll start with the Paramount Chieftaincy elections in Kuya. It was keenly contested, and the influx of people was terrifying for those of you who could have witnessed that elections. It was more than a general election. How do I call it? An election for how do I call them? For honorables, for MPs. It was more than an election for MPs. The number of people that turned up for that election on Saturday was huge, and the police population was less initially. We increased, but still people thought there was going to be a fight. Actually, it ended up very well, and to me, and by my assessment, it is one of the most peaceful Paramount Chieftaincy elections that we've had. In spite of the threats that came ahead of the elections, it was fine, it was peaceful, and it is one of the few that just once, instead of the normal, if you don't score 55% during the first score, then it means they will redo. And therefore, when it was done once and for all, the winner got 64.6%, I think, and it's from one Kanu Sori Bumbuli won that election. And I think we are happy about it. We hope people will continue behaving in the same manner. For other Paramount Chieftaincy elections, they are still on hold. They are still on hold in several parts of this country. And some of them are going, if they don't be careful, it has to be done after the next general elections, because they are mad with violence and some intimidation, etc., etc. So we are making sure we will support NEC by all means to make sure all elections become free, fair, very transparent, by way of us providing security. We had an incident at Tambahka. Let me just give you, I just want report on riotous conduct that left one person fatally injured with 10 others arrested at Yana village in the Tambahka Yobangi chiefdom. On Tuesday, the 12th July, the Provincial Secretary North went to Mr. Prince Suriba, led a delegation of people from the district council in the northwest, in Makini, Bombali district, under police and military escort, left to Kamakwie town for Sanya in the Tambahka Yubangi chiefdom to unveil PC Kande Bamba II, who is the duly elected paramount chief after contesting an election with 6 other aspirants, and which was lastly contested by himself, a runoff between himself and one Alaji MF Kamara from the Yana village. Since PC Kande Bamba was declared winner of the election, he had faced several petitions which proved futile. Some of these petitions all of them were heard in the court here, and they were thrown out. Thus, on the 12th June, His Excellency the President, Dr. Julius Maada Bio, handed over the staff of authority to him in Kono. On the 12th of July, that is at about 1600, there was a team from how do I call the place? Bombali, arrived in Yana village en route to Sanya. And they were strongly resisted with roadblocks and other sharp objects to stop the vehicle's movement. Despite the obstacles encountered, the team safely arrived in Sanya town. That's the headquarters. Just after the official presentation ceremony, the commanding officer of the 4th Battalion, the district security coordinator, Kerena district, decided to return to Kamakwie. Whilst on their way, they encountered heavy resistance at Yana village, which led to his vehicle being vandalized and some of the military escorts sustained injury. On today's date, Wednesday, 13th July, at about 9:30, whilst returning back to Kamakwie, under the escort of Major Hindua, that's a military major, the team came again under serious attack from the inhabitants of Yana village. Gunshots were heard and missiles were thrown at the vehicles. In the process, 10 people were arrested at the village, and they are now in the Kamakwie assisting the police. Just outside of the village, the team met an unknown man who was bleeding profusely. He was picked up and immediately rushed to Kamakwie Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Earlier investigation by the police stated that he sustained a gunshot wound. The investigation is in progress, and we are monitoring from this end. This is a long story. It started as an affront, to the newly elected paramount chief of that chiefdom. And this is what, after his inauguration ceremony, this is what happened. On the way back, the people were strongly resisted the road was barricaded, and during the process, 10 people were arrested. I know you must have got various versions. This is why I'm making it clear so that you people will know exactly what happened. And on Tuesday was the 13th, huh? Yes, I think so, yeah. Tuesday was 12th. Yes, Tuesday was 12th. Again at Parliament, after we had a lot of rumors that people were going there to fight and to disrupt the parliamentary proceedings, we had to make an operational order and ensured that we were going to instill discipline, and that only wanted people by Parliament would be accepted. And the one thing that happened that I like, and I would want to commend the Speaker of Parliament, they came out with a briefing, with a regulation stating that only wanted people would be accepted in the well of Parliament, both in the galleries and everywhere. So I'm looking for the document. I don't know. Do you have it? There is a document. Let me just look. I think I would see it, and then we'll share with you, because this is very important. Yes, I think I will have it. I will have it here. Sorry, Jama. Just 1 minute. Public notice. Following directives from the Honorable Speaker of Parliament, the Clerk of Parliament wishes to inform the Honorable Members of Parliament, staff and the general public about the new measures that have been put in place to enhance the safety and security of Members of Parliament, staff and visitors, those are strangers, within the precincts of Parliament. Henceforth, the following measures have been put in place or activated. 1. Invitations to witness parliamentary proceedings or proceedings in Parliament by representatives of political parties will be issued by the leaders of the respective political parties in Parliament through the Speaker. 2. That leaders of political parties in Parliament are responsible to retrieve the invitation pass from their invited guest and submit same to the Sergeant at Arms after sitting in Parliament. 3. That representatives of the general public, including MDAs, development partners, CSOs, and the press who wish to attend parliamentary proceedings are requested to fill the link below. A link is here that is given. If you want to attend as well, you can. So depending on the availability of seats in the lower and upper galleries in the chambers of Parliament, approval to attend sittings will be issued on a first-come, first-served basis. A printed list with names of approved visitors will be managed by the security personnel before the issuance of visitors' access passes. Kindly bring an ID in your name. 6. The submission of personnel data alone does not give automatic access to the general public. It must be followed by an invitation issued under the hand of the Speaker. 7. Members of the general public shall use the main entrance to access Parliament by security personnel. Note: honorable members and staff of Parliament are exempted from search and screening before gaining access to Parliament and its chambers. Members of the general public shall be in a formal dress code before they will be allowed to enter the chamber of Parliament. Kindly wear suits or African dresses. The above measures shall take effect as from the next sittings, that's the 12th of July, onwards until modified in due course by the Speaker of Parliament. Parliamentary and Public Relations Department, Parliament of Sierra Leone. This is the public notice that was issued from Parliament regulating. So in order to enforce these regulations, we had to deploy police officers in large numbers. You know, the threat that was looming was enormous, especially following the incident that had happened before, wherein a honorable member complained that somebody stoned him and he was sick. You know, I saw a video making rounds and I saw that one. And this was the first time I had people asking for the police to go to Parliament. I saw one particular member. I don't want to state the name. I know him. So we are asking the security, the police, to please come into Parliament so that the place will be safe until we got this. So we are at Parliament to ensure that decorum is maintained, that people do not kill themselves, do not fight any longer. And we shall continue that operation until we are asked to stand down, so that these type of incidents will not repeat themselves. You know. On this note, I want to thank you very much. I think that will end my brief. But before I call on my colleagues, other people here, I want to inform you that the country is still quiet, very quiet. No major incidents, crime issues are still down. Robberies, in spite of the rains, are still down. I mentioned 2 weeks ago that we recorded one in Lunge. Lunge, there is a place called Sumbuya, just outside Lunge. You know, and another one that took place in Nunsar a long time ago. So during those two investigations, we were able to uncover 2 rifles in Potloko town. They were concealed under a bed, and the team from Lunsar, headed by the LUC Morana Kamara, came to Potloko, conducted searches, and were able to retrieve 2 rifles. Those rifles have now been sent down to Freetown for ballistic examinations. They are now with us, and after that, they will have to report back that these guns have been used or have never been used, etc. One had 13 rounds, and the other had just one round. But the investigation is in progress on those 2 issues. I know it has not reached the CID here because it is still being investigated at country. On this note, I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and I would want to call on the Freetown West for updates. Do we have anybody from Freetown West? I don't think so. Okay, so can we go to Northwest, Regional Northwest, the media officer Northwest?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Director of Operations, Media 1, Media 2.
And presently, our patrols are ongoing. We are providing security for the Guma Green Belt reserve area at Mile 13, Biobari, and Toke. We are also providing security with support from Freetown East and West Headquarters, had the parliament for the sittings because of the recent issues that happened there. Since the 12th, we've been providing security. And on the very 12th, we were able to arrest one Omo Maoi of Beach Road, Kawash, Lumley, with suspected kush and knife. And also one Jusu Kuruma with pepper spray. They are now at CID for investigation, Central CID. On the 11th, at 0540 hours, one Josie of Vincent Drive, Kaningo, reported that at 00:00 hours, that is 12 midnight, he noticed that his 4-bedroom apartment was engulfed in fire. 2 people died as a result of the inferno, and they were taken to the mortuary at Connaught. That matter is being investigated at CID Lumley. On the 9th, at 0140 hours, John Kanu of Hilltop, Freetown, reported that at 12 midnight, a wall fence collapsed on a makeshift structure, injured and killed 24-year-old Fatmata Sisi and 20-year-old Adama Kanu, whilst 2-year-old Fatmata Kagbo and 65-year-old John Kanu were injured. All of them were taken to the hospital, and the corpses were taken to the mortuary. On 8/7/2020, the Freetown West Regional Ops Team and the Lumley Ops Team conducted a joint raid at Cassava Farm, Juba. You'll agree with me that we've been receiving lots of reports of people taking people to ransom with knives to take their property from them. As a result of that raid, 11 people were arrested, 1 female and 10 male. 3 cutlasses, 8 knives, 2 scissors, and an earth meter were all found in their possession. They've been charged to court. And this morning at 0340 hours, one Sheka Ndawa ran out of luck. He was removing the air conditioner, the outdoor air conditioner unit at the parliament when he was arrested. The other 2 were with him, his accomplice, escaped. But he was arrested and is now at CID headquarters for investigation. I think for Freetown West, that's all I can say to you. Thank you.
Oh, Freetown West, thank you very much for some of those proactive moves. I also, yeah, you try and back. Yeah, go ahead.
Director of Operations.
You're not thinking they will go. Take it. Get down.
Director of Operations. The Regional Commander, Freetown West, Media 1 and 2. Superintendent Levy, Operations Officer, CID. Members of the First Estate, good afternoon all. I'm DSP Edward Senesi, Regional Freetown East Media Officer, representing the Regional Commander Freetown East. The general security situation of the region is calm and quiet. Day and night patrols are ongoing, supported by static and mobile checkpoints, particularly at night at strategic locations. Apart from that, I only have one incident to report on Sunday, the 9th of July 2022, at about 11:50 hours at Teneba Road, Kutolo, Wellington, one Alaji Abdurrahman Fufana of number 21 Teneba Road, Kutolo, reported that his 2 daughters, Khadija Fufana, age 19, and Aisha Fufana, age 16, both formerly of the said address, got drowned whilst they were playing in the gutter during the course of the rain. No foul play was suspected. The Kisi division is currently investigating. Apart from that, we do not have any other incident, major incident that worth reporting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Freetown East, for those updates. If Mr. Williams had gone into telling you about the effects of flood in the West, it's too much. And a lot of people are now killed. You know, I could remember last week again, I think one of those big, how do I call them, poles fell by the American embassy. Somebody was fatally injured. There are several of such incidents within the Western area. And the entire country, flooding has not been reported up country too much, but within Freetown it has been very, very serious. So on this note, I would want to call on the CID, Mr. Levy, Superintendent Levy, to give his updates. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Director of Operations, Regional Commander of Freetown West, and Media 1, Media 2, respectively, representative from the Freetown East, traffic representative, other colleagues, the First Estate, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to our user press briefing. And there were some cases reported at CID headquarters, but the most important ones, I will just mention a few over the week review. I start from the rear. It's an alleged case of forgery. On Wednesday, the 29th June 2022, at about 17:15 hours, Colonel Brahma Nepo Gogra of J44 Wilberforce Barracks, attached to the Ministry of Defense, MOD headquarters, Freetown, arrested and brought in Claudius Dowie, the said ministry website manager, and reported that on Tuesday, 28 June 2022, during the non-hours at the Ministry of Defense, MOD, in Freetown, with intent to defraud, one latter conspired together with Colonel Toronka, the Director of Communications and Information System, CIS, and with other persons unknown, and collected the sum of $9,785 United States dollars from the Directorate of the said ministry for the purpose of making annual internet payments into the services providers UNESCO accounts into the United Kingdom, and at the same time forge certain documents, that is to say, one United Bank for Africa UBA payment slip with number 279350 dated 20th June 2022, purported to have been issued by the said bank, knowing seemed to be false. On receipt of this report, the former website manager, one Alex Stevens of the said ministry, has been invited for statement in respect of the said matter, since he has been implicated. Correspondence has been forwarded to the Ministry of Health and Sanitation for the release of Alex Stevens, former IT officer of the Ministry of Defense website. Statement has also been obtained from the Colonel Toronka and promised to submit relevant documents to aid the investigation. The other report here is a case of robbery with aggravation On Sunday, 3rd July 2022, the Breaking and Robbery Syndicate unit of the CID Investigation Department, Freetown, received a transfer case and inquiry file of robbery with aggravation from Komoro Police Post, Motema Division, Kono District, for further investigations. The report stated that on Friday, the 1st July 2022, about 16:38 hours, Salifu Conte, the commander of Komoro Police Post, Motema Division, Kono District, received information that the staff of Wango Mining Company in Komoro village have been attacked and robbed by Amadou Bello, Mohamed Toli, Daniel Samura Elias, One Manken, Albert Momo, Gibiria Conte, and others persons unknown. 4 suspects are in custody helping with the investigation. The complainant has been contacted for additional statements. Request has been forwarded to the cyber unit for examination on the phones that were retrieved from the suspects. The team of investigators that left Freetown for Kono has arrested Councillor Air Augustine Kafum of Ward 077, Nimikoro Chiefdom, and as the lead suspect in the alleged matter. Letter of request has been forwarded to the local council chairman of the Kono District Council for the information of the councillor in the police custody. A warrant of arrest in force for the 3 suspects, Molai Kabu, Ali John Bull, and Ansu, all of Kono districts. Investigation is in progress. An alleged case of hacking and identity theft. This is cyber unit. On Wednesday, the 6th July 2022, Lahai Lawrence Lima of Gloucester Village, and also the Deputy Minister of the Internal Affairs, reported that on Friday, 1st July 2022, during the morning hours, he discovered that certain individuals using subscriber identification module, SIM numbers 076 114338 and 088 014759 hacked his Facebook account with name Lawrence Lima and at the same time impersonating his personality in a bid to damage his reputation and made him look low in the eyes of the rightful thinking Sierra Leoneans. Investigation is in active progress. Cyber Lab sent requests to the NATCOM and mobile companies. We intended to write to a Facebook for details, information about the hackers. Investigation is in progress. The last report I will mention is an alleged case of stock breaking and larceny. On Wednesday, 6 July 2022 at 11:14 hours, Raju Chakdirami of number 71A Sakastini Street, Freetown, reported on behalf of Raju Electrical SL Limited that on Saturday, the 2nd July 2022, about 1400 hours, at Raju Electrical Australia Limited warehouse at Regent Grafton Road, Freetown, he discovered that thieves stole quantity of burnished stone and website freezers and fridges valued to follow. On receipt of this information, 29 freezers were discovered and treated as exhibits, but all suspects in this matter has been released pending investigation. Investigation is in active progress. These are the few reports among the others over the week review.
Thank you, Mr. Levy. And we go finally, thank you very much. I hope you had those cases, some of them. Give them all that you have.
Thank you very much, Director of Operations. the Australian Police Force, Mr. AIG Madumala. Good afternoon. The Commander for the Freetown West, Mr. Williams. Good afternoon, the Head of Media and the Australian Police Force, ACP Brahma Kamara, and Media 2, respectively. Good afternoon, Mr. Debbie, the Head of Operations at the Criminal Investigations Department. Good afternoon, a rep from the Freetown East, DSP Mr. Edward Senesi. Good afternoon, members of the 4th Estate and senior colleagues, police officers here present. I am Chief Inspector Edward K. Kamara, a charge at the National Traffic Secretariat, Central Police Division. Updates from the Traffic Directorate, Director of Traffic Management and Road Safety in the Australian Police Force, Assistant Inspector General of Police, Brian Kanye, on Tuesday, the 12th of July, 2022, cautioned all duty traffic officers, DTOs, in the Western area and the country as a whole on a meeting convened here at the police press conference. He advised them or cautioned them for them to give a human face whilst dealing with commercial drivers in the country as a whole. The Director AIG Bremakane decided to caution all details because of the dire economic situation faced with its citizens as a result of hike in prices of fuel and other basic commodities, both locally and internationally. The Director stated the traffic offenses are of two major categories. We have both the major ones and the minor ones. He thus said they should therefore be able to look at the gravity of an offense before preferring any charge, or either they caution them so that short cannot be repeated. And that being, the Director said as an institution that has the mandate to protect lives and property of Sierra Leoneans, he maintained that their operation must, in one way or the other, help to cushion the economic situation that we all face as a nation, and both locally and internationally. He prevailed on them to minimize the arrest of commercial motor vehicles, especially during rush hours, because those at the time, our people use of transport. Furthermore, the Director of Traffic is in a bid, to reducing checkpoints countrywide, as he had already started by closing the one from Lunsa to Makini Highway, and also the one at Lokomasama, Lunge to Loko Highway has been closed for the time being until further notice. We have at least a summary of fatalities. This is as a result of the proactive measures that have been put in place by all details countrywide. For the Northwest, from the 30th of June to the 13th July 2022, we recorded 4 fatal accidents, which include male only. Only male were affected. For the east, that is Takoro division, they reported 1 fatality, that is fatally injured, where death occurred. The northeast, Mabroka, was 1, which was actually one deputy superintendent of police. You must have seen on the social media about this unfortunate incident at Oko. And yesterday, the driver was conveyed to Freetown, and the files have been transferred so that investigations can be done here in Freetown. And the corpse of the late man is presently at the Connaught Hospital awaiting postmortem. From the management division, I think that's all we have. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank